Sure. I just started.
Oh, well, that was good timing then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wish I had a... Oh, yeah, I didn't get a beer. I'll be right back. Start talking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we got beers in there. Go for it.
Do you have any toast? It's your birthday.
Yeah, but we're recording. Let's do this. We'll take the toast out there.
Okay.
Yeah, out to the park. It's my birthday.
It's Janine's birthday, folks.
And this is being released a week after my birthday.
We're not doing the time travel bit this week.
Well, not right now, it is my birthday.
It is.
In this recording, it is my birthday.
You took off your sash, though, so is it really your birthday?
Oh, fuck, I just got called out.
Welcome to Sick Burn Jane, formerly known as Sauced Austin, still currently known as Sauced Austin, and sort of also known as Sick Burn Jane, a Podlater Drunkcast podcast. I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
That's Janine.
Hi, yeah.
And it's Janine's birthday, folks. We are, God, I wish I could have a fucking Miller Lite.
Ooh, I'm about to fucking house this bitch. I'm going to need to eat, though.
Can I just hold it?
Yes.
Just so you feel it?
I'm going to smell it.
Please do.
Smell it.
Oh my God!
Allison, don't. You're torturing yourself.
Oh, I never thought I'd be nostalgic for that.
Don't watch.
But you know what? As Jane Austen has proved, you don't have to witness something to know in your heart that it is good.
Yes.
A la the sex they're definitely having on the steps of Pemberley.
Right now.
We, in this episode, are talking about the second half of the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, directed by Joe Wright, which fucks.
Yeah. It's good. It's not my PP, but that's okay. It's a good PP.
It's a very good PP.
Yeah.
And I actually really appreciated watching it in two parts because I liked part one a lot. And part two, I was like, fuck yeah!
Part two was better than part one.
Oh, yeah.
I think part two was better.
Yeah.
There are
Part
just
two was
so many smart additions and really smart adaptation choices.
Agreed.
And the thing, grain of salt. I had read this before that Emma Thompson did an uncredited rewrite on this script. And IMDb trivia, anybody can put anything in there. So who
Right.
the hell knows if any of this is true? However, this is on the IMDb trivia page. There are a couple of good things. Dame Emma Thompson did an uncredited and unpaid rewrite of the script. She received a special thanks credit at the end of this movie. One of the two scenes that Thompson wrote was the scene in which Charlotte Lucas tells Elizabeth Bennet that she will marry Mr. Collins. The
My
other
favorite
one,
scene in part one.
the other one is the scene in which Elizabeth Bennet tries to tell Mr. and Mrs. Gardner and Mr. Darcy about Lydia's elopement with Wickham. Here, Keira Knightley's walking in out of the room was Thompson's idea.
Yes.
You know what? Dame Emma Thompson. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. He's a quality bitch right there.
A good writer,
Oh,
an even
elbows.
better nemesis.
Just a perfect lady. Like, I wish I could ever meet her. Like, she seems so awesome. Just smart.
All
funny.
right, today begins our Get Emma Thompson to Talk to the Sick Burn Jane cast campaign.
Oh my
We're
God.
beginning it right now. Friends,
Oh my God,
if
what
any
if
of you
that
happen to
happened?
know Emma Thompson, it's time to start pulling strings.
Oh.
We're gonna make this happen. This is our new 5-year plan.
Okay.
I know we've talked about other goals for the podcast. Throw them all out. We have one
goal now.
Here's the thing. I think our 5-year goal has been to get a website, and now we're doing it. So
New 5-year goal.
So-
Emma Thompson.
There you go.
we are meeting all of our 5-year goals, and I think this is a doable goal now.
All right.
We got it.
So it's 2021. So Emma Thompson by 2026.
Yeah.
Here's to it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're making it happen.
Hey.
Speak it into existence, Oprah.
Should I think I should make myself a lobster costume just in case.
You know what? I can't wait.
Hilarious. That is a deep cut fucking Love Actually joke right there.
Oh my God.
He really went for it. See, I would laugh at that naturally without any of the forced laughter that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, we told Janine that we were going to laugh at all his jokes because it's his birthday.
And I asked them not to do that because I don't want to be self-conscious.
That was a sincerely good joke. It just took me a minute. I can't wait till we inevitably sit down with Dame Emma Thompson. And I'm going to say, Emma, I have a very important question for you. Is there anyone else on the planet who is good at adapting Jane Austen other than you? Just to see what she says. Because if she says no, then I was right all along. All along.
Legit. Nemesis.
Yeah, legit nemesis.
Well, good job, Emma Thompson,
Yeah, that's
that I
great.
didn't know about.
But it's a good. I mean, it is a really.
It's a great adaptation.
Sharp, tight screenplay adaptation.
Yes, I agree.
Because I don't really feel like we miss all that much. In part one, I agree that like. But now that you know where they were going with the Wickham thing, does it matter quite so
No,
much?
it's interesting because he just kind of made Wickham like a specter almost. What was most important was not Wickham's character or anything that we see of him. It's the idea of what he means to the family and social standing and all that. So
Yeah.
it's like, get him out of there. Let's make this faster. Come on.
Well, and because it's all sort of operating from Lizzie's perspective, knowing what she knows when she knows it, with the exception of, sorry, that the sound you just heard was.
Hand flex.
Can you hear
I
it?
can't hear that shit. I heard that, but that was you running in the
That was just
microphone.
me sponging the microphone.
What if it sounded like this? Allison, do the hand flex.
Wait, how about this? How about this?
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Was that the sound of a hand flex?
That
Here,
was-
let's do a little
oh,
bit of
hold on,
Foley.
hold
Are you ready?
Yes.
Not that one. Just do the
Okay.
physical one and tell me how it feels to hear the sound.
All right.
No, not good enough? No. Damn. All right. I was trying something. It failed.
On the other hand, I'm wet now. Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's not the coffee, is it?
No, you're.
Port.
It was port. Never mind. Don't
Yo, I
worry.
spilled my
looks pretty
coffee
good.
during the
It looks pretty
crowdcast.
good.
It's doing okay, actually. I
I
think,
think you're going to be all right. You'll have
You
to
know what?
resolve that
It's
part
just
Couple more
again.
things.
distressed now.
and that's fashionable.
Lived
It
in.
is. It is lived in.
Boho chic, bitch.
So we get a lot of really cool stuff, and some of it we've already talked about. We get a little, essentially like a Lizzie Darcy cut scene at the end, which I really like.
Yeah.
They're fucking on the steps of Pemberley moment,
Yeah.
which I really think is fun. And it's pretty hot. We got your
Mrs.
big
Darcy.
Heathcliff realness.
Yes, him coming across that Misty Moore was pretty great. It was the closest thing to Colin Firth coming out of the pond at Pemberley, definitely.
Upside down pond, I'm
Yep,
telling you.
you're right. And
fog is the new pond.
please tell our listeners what you discovered on the IMDb trivia about that scene and the red flag.
Again, IMDb trivia.
Who knows
the
if
hell
it's real, but this is hilarious.
Matthew McFadyen, parentheses, Mr. Darcy, has very poor eyesight. In the misty morning shot, director Joe Wright was behind the camera waving a red flag so McFadyen knew where to walk. So now you just have to picture that beautiful, all the beautiful fog and the sun is coming out and somebody in a golf cart has just gone like put, and dropped him all the way, like
Yep.
half a
And
mile
then
away.
put back.
Put, and then Joe Wright's just standing there going,
so that he doesn't wander off to the right and out of frame.
I wonder how many times they did it.
Before they figured out that they had.
Yeah, please. I want to see the version where Matthew McFadyen just an
Weird.
entirely natural curvature.
That was another scene that was requiring. That was Twilight. That lasts for like an hour, 2 hours. So imagine how many days they had to do that before they figured it
Yeah,
out.
that and that sunburst between their two faces and the oh hell yes, I don't know what we call that one.
You mean when the sun rose on their marriage?
Yes.
Oh
exactly.
my God, the
Like they
metaphors.
had we discussed it during the crowdcast. They had to do that every day
I
for
bet
a
they
week to
did.
get
Oh,
the
yeah.
right shot.
I bet it took
a lot of time to set
either
it up.
that or they did it in one. Like either they did it every day for a week or they did it the very first time.
And Joe Wright's like, lock that shit up.
Yeah. And then someone's like, "Oh, I forgot to hit the button."
Oh God, don't. That gives me shingles.
It's
It's beautiful.
beautiful. It's a really
Yes,
beautiful
it's
shot.
beautiful.
I love that they increase the speed of all of the ending events. Really, like pretty much everything adaptation wise. Frankly, everything adaptation wise in part 2 works for me.
Yes.
like
Yeah.
every choice works for me. The choice of just having him there and she sees him through the door and he's hugging Georgiana.
Oh, that was really nice.
That
Yeah,
was
like-
that was a very eyes wide shut kind of moment, which was
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like through the crack door.
I mean,
and like,
it really felt like, as we were talking about in the crowdcast, it was like a
Invasion of
violation,
privacy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not mad about it, and obviously it wasn't intentional, and it's really good and complicated. But I really felt like I was with her, sort of looking at something I shouldn't be looking at.
Right.
I never feel that way in most Pemberley scenes.
no.
it's all just like, ooh, Pemberley. And here I was like, oh, God, this is home.
This is
his
where he
home.
lived. Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine if someone asked you to marry them and then you ended up at an open house for their house they were selling? Can you imagine?
It's pretty bad.
Just accidentally? Yeah. So all of the adaptation choices work for me, but specifically from Bingley shows up, they're there for a hot 30 seconds before he can't take it anymore and he has to flee. Then we get that amazing scene of him practicing proposing with Mr. Darcy, which
with
is
the role play. So
Oh,
good.
yeah.
It's so good. And you only need just that little tiny bit to understand everything that happens in that like you don't need any of the, well, I explained it to him and he was angry, but his anger lasted only as long as his uncertainty about her affection for him, blah blah. We don't need any of that. We just see Darcy proposal coaching, which
Is hilarious.
he's really lucky that Bingley didn't check his Yelp reviews because Darcy
He's like, one
proposals
star. One
yeah
star.
Darcy proposals
Not good up to then.
He's also very adept at knowing what sucks. So don't do this.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's
Yeah.
coming from a negative example.
Yeah.
He's
The,
like-
the scene we didn't see is Bingley gets to one knee and says, I know your family's a piece of shit. And he's like, no,
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 stand
that
up,
doesn't
stand
work.
up,
That
stand up,
won't work.
stand up.
Bandits
That
don't
is
like
not.
that. Bandits
I
hate
tried that
Nix.
one. It doesn't work.
Nix it.
It doesn't work.
It would start over.
Leave
I
us-
mean, she did want to lick my face. I could tell she wanted to lick my face.
But she wasn't gonna
she
marry
also
me.
said no.
Call
So.
yourself an ass. That'll work better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start off admitting that you were wrong. Ladies
Yo,
love
Darcy,
that.
start the fog machine. But so like we get the rehearsing and then he's back right away. It's obviously been like a hot 5 minutes and he bursts back in and then proposes and it's so wonderful.
That was a good scene.
Right? Then, oh no, they're off and running. And that night, word travels so fast that night Lady Catherine shows up. They have their confrontation. Lizzie can't sleep. She's out wandering. And then Darcy is like, oh crap, let me put on pants. Mm-hmm. My aunt was
And
just
wander
an
across the
asshole.
moor.
I have to go apologize right now. And so he wanders on. Oh, it's good.
And the adaptive choice of having Lady Catherine just show up at their house in the middle of the night was very strong.
I liked
Yeah.
it a
Because
lot.
it really shows how unhinged she is about it.
Oh, yeah.
And it gave them a more interesting lighting choice as well. Like
Yeah.
it just speaks to the character in the moment of just like the darkness.
It was a
and, like,
darker, and
Yeah.
more aggressive.
Yeah.
It did feel more aggressive, and I don't know if that's just it being at night with the firelight or whatever, and the family being in their place of comfort, and this being a true like violation once again, or if it's that Judi Dench is a fucking bully. Because she's mean. Like, Lady Catherine is always mean, but this one is like...
Cruel.
Yeah.
Deliberately cruel.
Right. And it's not just that she knows that this woman is of inferior birth. Like, she is actually, like, putting her thumb on her and, like, twisting her into the ground. And
Yeah,
it's-
she's twisting her thumb into a wound that she created when she put out her cigarette on Elizabeth's skin.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
It's
She
like,
So Judi Dench is a very mean Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
with a great wig.
Oh, yeah, that
I
wig
can't.
is really
It's
good.
really. That is a rich lady wig.
Yeah.
Another great moment when Lizzie's like, I don't want to go to Pemberley. He's so rich. I was like, oh, I felt that.
And then
felt
when
that
she
in my
sees
veins.
Pemberley for the first time and just goes, that also
That's-
is very... I felt that in my veins.
That was a very Emma Thompson moment. Mm-hmm. Who knows if that one is Emma? That might just be Kira. That might be Joe Wright being like, it would be great. Pop into the frame, just laugh. Who knows? Whoever's idea it was a great
Good
one.
idea.
But it reminds me of. You haven't seen Sense and Sensibility, right?
No, I have not.
Plug your ears.
How do I do this?
Yeah.
Yep, there you
It
go.
reminds me when Eleanor bursts into tears.
Oh, God, when he comes in and proposes.
Yeah, where it's like a completely understandable, recognizable human response that you don't usually see on film.
Right.
Like a way a person would actually react, not a way they usually react in a story.
Right.
It was like
Not
that.
an idealized reaction,
Yeah,
just
totally.
a reaction.
And honest. And it's funny because it's honest, but it doesn't make it less
I mean,
honest.
who amongst us, when first gazing upon Pemberley, would not laugh?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, like
Oh, totally.
you can't stop it. Okay, we're cool.
We're good now.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. That was fun.
What else?
Let's see.
Oh, I would like to talk about Donald Sutherland and Brenda Blethyn.
Yes, please.
This is a Mr. and Mrs. Bennet that I feel are still truly in love with each other, and that seems kind of different than than almost all the other adaptations we've seen. I think it possibly has to do a little bit with Brenda Blethyn playing Mrs. Bennet a little bit more in a little bit more real fashion, as opposed to the kind of like what we always see her as, which is another one of the kind of buffoon asshole buttholes, Austin buttholes, right? She's still a butthole, but she feels more like a person.
It's the same thing as the Mr. Collins approach, only she's still funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he just lost something for me. And then he never came back in the second half, so they like...
Which,
Fine, but it just kind of feels like Joe Wright was like, this is a means to an end. That's fine. This story is about Lizzie and Darcy. I don't care about the rest, right?
Yeah.
But I did just want to give some props to Donald Sutherland and Brenda Blethyn for like showing us a world in which Mr. and Mrs. Bennet still like really love each other and are still kind of hot for each other too.
But are totally incompatible.
Yes.
Like you can just tell, like it's not a good marriage,
No.
but they love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably also hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the Donald Sutherland Lizzie scene.
Yeah.
He's just a really sensitive Mr. He's
The moment when he
cries a bit, you know,
yeah, when
it's
he
really
starts laughing because he realizes she really does love him a lot, is beautiful.
The first time we see him in part one, when he comes out with the orchid, I'm like, oh, this Mr. Bennet is a little different, and you can just see that he is truly just a more sensitive man. Because all the other adaptations we've seen, yes, he's sensitive and intelligent, but he's so far removed and above everything.
Yeah.
This one does not feel that way.
Yeah,
So I think he steps into a really high estimation of Mr. Bennet for me.
Yeah.
That character.
Also, like a really worn out Mr. Bennet.
Yeah.
Instead of with all the Lydia stuff, and let's talk about Lydia next. With all the Lydia stuff, it's like he looks at her going to Brighton as a vacation from Lydia and not like, well, if she goes, then she'll shut up about it, which is what he says. But here I felt very much like, are you kidding? Someone's going to take Lydia away for 4 weeks. I can't
I'm not
you
gonna
think
say
I'm going
no.
to pass that up?
Yeah, it's a vacation for me.
Also
Yeah.
felt like this Bennett was portraying the weight of his responsibilities very like heavily, right? Like he was relieved that his daughters got married, right? Like it almost feels like he like when he's talking about
It
Lydia
felt like
leaving,
personal relief.
Yeah, he's like, I
Like-
know that you are all fucked, and I know it's kind of on me.
Oh, it is. I mean, it is.
It is on him. And like I
He
know
just feels
that.
more sensitive, just
Yeah.
more like feels things more deeply or shows
Yeah.
it more.
He's
Shows
not-
it more.
He's
is
not
what it
aloof.
is.
He's not aloof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
shows it more.
Yeah.
There's this great line in the book, which I think is also repeated in the miniseries, where he says that it shouldn't have been an issue because we were going to have a son. By the time there was no son, it was then too late to be saving, which I've always thought is such a good, like, really quick indictment of the way that he behaves, because it's not actually too late to be saving. It's not too late to be saving.
Right.
You've got 5 daughters and a wife, and they could all be homeless in 5 minutes if you have a heart attack. So
Right.
no, it's actually not too late to be saving.
Yeah.
But here it's like he just seems so weary, and
Worn
then
down.
you're right, is so relieved that they're going to be safe. You know, it just
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
it's very human. It's less funny,
Yes.
but emotionally really rich.
Yeah.
Had so many goosebumps at the,
Oh,
end, of this,
yeah.
at the end of this movie. So many.
It was a
of them.
goosebump.
Oh.
It was a goosebump brigade.
You know what didn't give me goosebumps?
What?
Lydia.
Ooh, see, I like.
She's okay, but it just, I think it, once again, it feels a little bit part of the whole treatment of Wickham, in that the reason this plot exists is to move Lizzie and Darcy forward.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but I feel like some of the true emotional weight of what it meant to the other sisters wasn't really explored, like in their prospects. That's fine. The actress that played Lydia was good, but I just feel like some of the importance of what it meant in society and personally for the other Bennett sisters was kind of elided over.
Yeah, I feel like there's more complexity in most of these relationships and less in that one.
Yeah.
Although I do really like that Lydia is such a butthole.
She's a total button. Like,
Like-
she's almost loathsome. Like, I can...
Like an unpleasant person.
Yes. I can't find a reason to like this Lydia. Most other Lydias, there's just something about...
Like you dumb little
She
moron.
is that friend you had in high school that was always getting in trouble for some shit, but always had a hilarious response, and you knew she was bad news, and you were probably going to get in trouble when you hung out with her too, but she made you laugh real hard like 3 times. You're like, I'm going to hang out with her again. That's what I always feel about Lydia. I did not feel that way about Lydia this
Friends,
time.
that's also what going to the Oasis with Julie is like.
I was going to say, I was that friend.
It's just like, that's so specific.
That was me. Except I had enough of the Lizzie mind to not get in trouble for shit. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is you're a sociopath.
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
But fun to hang out with. Whee! So I'm saying I missed a little bit of... Lydia is not a fun character because through her we're supposed to kind of reflect upon societal issues and problems for women, right? But the character itself is delightfully like bubbly and stupid and like, and then I just found her to be loathsome this time, just like
Yeah.
ugh.
I will say, and this is not a Lydia comment, but more to the comment of how that relationship and that character doesn't show us the challenges of society. I would criticize this movie for that. They had to make a choice, and they chose obviously Lizzie and Darcy, and how do they make that the most impactful story possible? But yeah, overall, I wouldn't have walked away from this film feeling like I had the sense of societal weight on them necessarily. More just that these parents care so much for their children and they want them to be married and happy. And
The only thing I will say about this, and we were discussing it earlier, is visually speaking, the filmmaking and costume choices and set dressing and stuff really do bring out the class difference in
Yeah.
this adaptation, I think, a little bit more strongly than in other adaptations. And so that's enough to kind of get your mind going, especially if you've ever read any Jane Austen or you're a fan of, or you've ever seen Pride and Prejudice, because immediately it's kind of shorthand into these girls are fucked. But if you don't have that experience and you don't know, and you just take your girlfriend to go see Pride and Prejudice in 2005 at the movie theater, you might not get as deep as the book gets with this adaptation.
It leaves behind a lot of the societal stuff, but enhances a lot of the romantic stuff, which is okay. In the book, it's fine because the whole point is you're supposed to use your imagination, right? Like, she's not showing us these sweepingly romantic moments because we can just imagine them. Right, like we're giving the characters their privacy and just sort of imagining how wonderful it is.
Jane
right?
Austen is very good at leaving your room and your personal spank bank.
Totally, exactly. Here, that's not. I mean, they're still leaving room.
I mean, we could create fanfic for 3 weeks based on the second
Yes.
half of this movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we could.
that'd be a fun game. We'd name 3 moments in that film and then make fanfic based off those 3 moments.
Someday we'll do live Sick Burn Jane fanfic. We'll do it.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I feel comfortable enough with Pride and Prejudice to be able to really contribute to a fanfic, live
Totally.
fanfic.
Yeah, I agree.
Great. Sometime
Someday.
we'll do it.
Hopefully we get to do it, and then we send that tape to Dame
Emma Thompson.
to join us. Would you like to do fanfic with nerds? Yes or no? Check yes or no, return later. You know who would love that note?
Maybe.
Yes, you know who would love that note? Dame Emma Thompson.
Hold on. Let me get my crayons. I'm going to draw this and
Glitter
we're going to
pens.
send it
This is
to
middle
her
school.
manager. For Dame Emma Thompson.
And it's going to be like a Rose situation on the Golden Girls where Reagan answered her because he thought she was an 8-year-old child. Yeah. It's going to be like that.
Such a good storyline.
Oh my God.
Oh. All right. Is there anything else in the second half that we want to talk about? Because a reminder to you and to you and also you, Viv Pickles, aka Laura. No, I say Viv Pickles too often. Laurel, and Lauren, both of them, Laurel S and Lauren T.
Yep.
Both of you, listen up. We're doing a series of episodes that we're calling Kira Fest. So we'll be talking about the costumes, we'll be talking about the hand flex, we'll be talking about some other things. But while we're just talking about part 2, anything else you want to add? I'm obsessed with her Joe costume, with her Joe March costume.
Her Joe March costume at the end was really cool.
It's very bisexual. It's a bisexual nightgown in day dress form.
Yes, day dress form, a bisexual nightgown.
This was so beautiful.
It's very pretty.
Oh, we haven't talked about the BBD yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, how did it come to be?
Well, because so Lizzie was, Jane was fast asleep because she had just gotten proposed. She was so very happy.
Right, and she was dreaming about the D.
The sleep of the affianced.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the affiance, and Liz was about to go, and then we were like, well, Jane is sleeping, thinking about the.
She's dreaming about that D.
And then I think you
said BD.
BD, and you
The
were
Bingley
like Bingley Dick, and I was
Or
like,
Big Dick.
and I was like,
and then it became BBD.
Big
BBD,
Bingley Dick.
the big
And then
Bingley
it
Dick.
became
Bingley Dingly. You
So-
gotta get that bingly dingly.
Jane just passed right out thinking about that bingly dingly.
Bingly dingly do.
Yeah, I
he's
don't have
really
anything
good
else.
in that.
He's so
in that scene.
that little
Yeah.
chunk.
When he walks forward towards her and the camera pans with him, and then he stops and he says, "I've been such an ass," and then he steps forward again.
Yeah,
The camera movement there, everything about that was so good.
the shot of that room was also
Oh.
very pretty. The only thing that I have left to say is that the second half of the movie is so much better than the first half. The first half isn't bad. It's just kind of like, I wonder if I watched it all as a piece, if I would feel anything building, but I did not feel anything building until the oh hell nozzle. Like all of a sudden the oh hell nozzle happened, and then from then on out it was off to the fucking
You
races.
did miss the hand flex.
I did, but I still felt a moment when he helped her into the carriage.
Yeah.
Like I felt the electricity between them. So even though I didn't see the hand flex, which I will go back and watch, I felt, and like Neil and I both looked at each other and a raised eyebrow. Like we had a moment of, ooh. It was like, so yeah. With an old married man and an old married woman, we both went, whoo. So there's that. The second half of this movie is great. The first
Yeah.
half is good.
Hold on, Julie. I think I just figured something out. Are you married? Because you don't ever mention it.
Yeah, I'm married. Although maybe not for long. Because last night, hold on.
What an admission on
This is going to be about the Beatles bracket.
Yes, it is.
my day after
Last
my
night,
birthday.
Neil and I started a bracket.
Oh,
As
no.
you all know, we all of us here at Podlander, Sick Burn Jane, Drunkhead, whatever we're called anymore. We love a fucking bracket.
Love the bracket.
And we came up with this idea for a bracket because we were watching the Paul McCartney documentary with Rick Rubin.
Paul McCartney 3-2-1.
Thank you. And we're enjoying it. We're trying to like space it out because it's fun to watch. And we're talking about Paul McCartney and how fucking badass he is. And when you're confronted with everything that he did, all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Is Paul McCartney the true musical genius behind the Beatles? And then we had a long conversation about that. Then we decided the best place to start was to go and find all the Beatles singles that hit number 1. There are 20 that can make a bracket. So we seeded them last night and then only did the matchups that we both agreed immediately, which were only like 3. I don't have, I mean, I could look at a picture of it now, but I'm not going to bore everybody. But what I'm saying is we have the rest of this bracket to fight through. Could end our marriage.
Okay.
Wow, well, it's been a good run.
Get ready.
Can
I'm ready to fight.
Can Neil still do Dudelander? If
Oh, yeah. Neil's always available.
okay, good.
Great. On that note, we got to go celebrate Janine's birthday.
Yay.
So this is where we're going to stop and then pretend like I'm not recording all of the stuff that comes after this later. We're going to pretend like it's happening live.
Yeah.
So